G'day everybody. Alabar Jones here, leader and founder of the EarthGuard Astral Projection Group. And today I'm here to tell you all about the change of direction that our group is taking. You see, since its inception for the last few years, we've been fighting demonkind and fighting the invaders to our Earth. And demonkind we regard as just one of the units or one of the battalions of things that they sent to Earth to take it over. And they've been doing a great job of taking it over. But if you've been watching recently, particularly this video, you'll see that actually that battle has been won, that war has been won. There's a longer story to it, and there's been a lot of players. Our team is one of them. There's a European team that's another big player, but there's been a lot of individuals doing work all over the place. We haven't connected up with everybody yet, but we sure would like to. But this is not the point of the video. The point is, if we've won that battle, what do we do next? And my answer is disclosure. What does disclosure mean? Well, some people just want the government to admit that aliens exist, right? But that's a bit weak. What we're certain has been going on for decades is these alliances between Earthlings and other species who where the other species is the dominant partner. So what basically happens is Earth resources are put together by Earthlings to build fleets and to build spaceship fleets that are staffed by humans and are run by an off-world species. It feels a bit dumb, but the problem is that all of us surface dwellers are paying for this massive underground civilization. Somebody important in this field, you might want to check out Catherine Austin Fitts, who is a legend in my mind. And her research, her intelligence gathering has put forward the idea that there are 170 underground cities, which is an entire civilization that is working off of mixed Earth human technology and alien technology. What do we do in this scenario? Well, we know that the surface humans have paid for it all. And you can see that because we've had 80 years of uninterrupted and increasing prosperity since the end of World War II. And where is all that money? Where is all that wealth? Where did it all go? Because everybody's bloody well broke. And like I can't make sense of it. Like, where did all the debt go? I don't get it. Unless it's going to Earth's off-world masters. Now, how serious are they about keeping this secret? Well, in 2001, on September 10, Donald Rumsfeld, the then Defense Secretary, was dragged in front of Congress and asked to answer for a $2.3 trillion gap in the black budget. $2.3 trillion just disappeared. And he was dragged into Congress to answer for it. So what did he do? Well, the very next day, 9/11 happened, and that reset the trajectory for human culture for the next 20 years. That thing is still hanging around. Terrorism is still a drama that's going on. And you know that this is their MO. This is how they do things. Because the week that Bill Clinton was due in court for Monica Lewinsky, well, they started a war with Iraq. And the media blackout that happened there changed the subject for the whole world. You saw it again with the war in the Ukraine, because believe it or not, the same week that the war in Ukraine kicked off, Tony Fauci was due in the Supreme Court that week. But the media blackout changed the subject and nobody remembers what happened. This is how serious they are about covering their tracks. But what was it? It's just a cover story. It's just a diversion. It's just a distraction. Because, and, and I want you to think about how much resources, how much media, how much time and effort, how much study, how much security, blah, 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 blah. went into anti-terrorism when really it was an inside job designed to change the subject away from where is that black budget money actually going. Now, if you read a book by a guy called Richard Dolan, I hope I can find his book there. It's called Breakaway Civilization. It goes back to Roswell and saying the alien ship that they shot down. The newspapers took photos and they printed articles of it the next day. And then the day after that, the army said it never happened. It was all secret evermore, and it was all taken to Area 51, which is where that mythology is born. But the shortcut to Richard Dolan's book is that they reverse engineered that technology and had working anti-grav space travel ships in 1954, which means that they've had what, 70 years to build as many ships as they would like and to explore this solar system and this galaxy. And we paid for it all. We don't know anything about it. But the reason why we want to get into disclosure is because Earth has absolutely no possibility for honest governance while the secret space programs that are born remain secret. You see, when Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney decided to bomb their own country and then blame other countries, then blame Osama bin Laden for it, well, that's how serious they are about keeping it secret. You know how big of a deal that was. But while that's going on, there are 101 other secrets that they're keeping. But what you're seeing here is the dominance of the secret space program and these underground cities. They dominate human culture. They dominate surface human culture. Now, that event back in 2001 is actually an example of the dominance of subterranean secret space program culture over surface human culture. So surface human culture gets bent over backwards to maintain the secret of the existence of underground humans and spaceships. Geez, I say some crazy things, don't I? I really do. But the interests of the surface civilization were subverted to meet the interests of the underworld, of the under civilization. We don't know what they're doing. Thanks to Corey Good, who is, you can see his deposition here. He's been dominating the SSP conversation for the last, 10, 15 years now. And he's just been dragged through court. And in court, he admit he is full of lies. He's just, it's absolute nonsense. So a lot of the commonly understood facts are actually from his fabrication. One of them including the blue avian species, which, in court he says, I made it up. It's my intellectual property. Nobody else can talk about it. I suspect he's actually an agent of the Inner Earth or the secret space programs. And I want to link those two together, which I'm not sure everybody else is doing. This is not to say that they are the only inhabitants of the underground, but they're the ones who really owe us. We built their cities, we paid for everything, we've been feeding them for decades, but nobody seems to notice. And all of the wealth of the surface has been sucked into the underground, and so we suffer so that their lives can remain secret. And what our team will be working on is exactly uncovering that secret. Now, I'm gonna bet my life savings that there is at least 1,000 spells that have been cast to keep that secret. And our team's going to unravel them all one by one. I'm also going to bet that there are lots and lots of alien agents or alien loyal agents who are subverting surface human culture as well. and our team is going to be thwarting their efforts. I don't know how long it'll take, but humankind cannot be governed with honesty until this secret is exposed, because they'll do anything to keep the secret, and our world will continue to be a mess while that secret is still in place. But also, it means that the surface humans and the subterranean humans can finally work together to solve the problems that the galaxy presents. That 2001 terrorist event is an example of the inner Earth civilization dominating the surface civilization. And I'm fucking over it. I'm not into it. I don't want it to be that way. We've solved big problem number one, demon kind and the evil. And now we're going to go after the second big problem, which is the secrecy of a large group of humanity operating off the back of all of the surface humans. It's up to you to figure out if this makes sense to you, but I think I'm going to have a Q&A about it on my membership site. I run them on the 15th of each month. So, you know, sign up and I'll see you there, because there is a lot to discuss. Anyway, my love to you all. Stay well. Bye for now.